Steven, do you like my tan?
You got a tan?
Not really. I lathered myself thickly and continually when I was out. Actually, the one day I was in Florida at the pool, it was overcast, so the clouds were out the whole day, but it was like 70, so I still sat there myself. No, none of the old people were there. And then the next day it was sunny.
Was it hot there?
No. It was only in like 72 at the most when I was there.
What part of Florida is this?
I was in Fort Lauderdale.
Very nice.
But yeah, anyway, why don't we start the show, Steven?
Let's do it.
We could talk about this going forward. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. Steven. This is going to be, we're going to call this like 2014 prediction show. I'm going to look back at some of the predictions I made in 2013 in a video and maybe give some predictions going forward. I don't want to spend too much time there because I don't really care about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, last show of the year?
Yes, it is.
This is going to be the last one because this comes out on the 23rd, which is, right, and we're not going to record on the 24th or 25th because that's the Christmas-y time for you non-Jews out there.
Yep.
It's hard to be a Jew on Christmas. It's time for the Jew episode of South Park.
I know.
It is. It's time for that. It's that time of year.
I'm always excited for that episode.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
So we've got that. Oh, and it's good to hear that your voice is back.
Yes, I am back. Thank God.
Are you upset you lost your photo news job on...
A little bit.
Do you want it back?
But I'll be back this week.
You will be?
I will be.
Darn it.
I think.
I want it, man.
As of right now.
I want to do a show like that.
Yeah.
I want to do like the Tosh.0 type thing where...
We could. Then we would actually need a green screen. No, we wouldn't because it's not live.
Our background already looks green screen.
I know, right? Everyone thinks it is.
You can pop the stuff up in there. Anyway, people that think it's green screen can take a look at the behind-the-scenes RAWtalk that we did, that you shot. Basically behind the scenes of everything, all the microphones we use, everything is up. It's on the website. You can put it in the photo news section if you want this week.
Okay.
But you can see the background is real. It just looks green screen because of this. So this is why we use DSLRs when we film. We don't want to use the standard XH-A1 Canon non-DSLR things because it doesn't separate the background.
Oh yeah, super flat too.
Yeah, and I don't like flat. I like, you know...
You like punchy.
I like it to be kicking.
Yeah, well, plus we have... The way we do the lighting on that, I think it's very contrasty and separated pretty well because we have the two in the front.
You gotta keep them separated. You ever seen The Offspring?
And then we have the 5D too on me with 24 to 70 at 70 millimeters, so it works out.
So Steven asked me today, why are these episodes an hour and a half? Actually, it was the other way around.
I think I asked you like every week
I
why
asked Steven why they're an hour and a half. He's like, you don't stop talking.
Yep.
Well, last week's, I loved having Dave Leno on. Dave Leno, this week's episode is brought to you by Crotch Cream. For when you're Vagisil. Because, let's say it's just like... It's like
random sponsor.
Well, random sponsor for girls volleyball.
Yeah.
Or field hockey. Do you need Vagisil? Because Vagisil is here with an all-new double-acting, fast-acting cream. It not only soothes, but it cools down your area. For more information, check out Vagisil.com/collegegirls. You can order now. There's a $5 off coupon. And share this with your Twitter following. Let them know that you like Vagisil. Like us on Facebook.
At I Love Vagisil.
At I Love Vagisil. And follow us on Facebook and share with your friends that you have crotch itch.
Did you ever see the South Park Vagisil episode?
No.
Where he's the NASCAR racer?
No.
And Cartman's like eating Vagisil to like... he doesn't realize what it is. It's awesome.
That's good stuff.
It is.
So Dave Leno's episode was great. Even though he's not a photographer, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because...
What is that?
It's The Rock, I think.
Is it?
I think The Rock used to say that. I don't watch wrestling. I never watched that.
But you never watched it?
No, I've never watched it. Except when I was a kid, when you had the two Russian guys as tag teams. I mean, I was there for the time of Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah. Were you WWE or WWF?
It was WWF, man.
Yeah.
I saw them at the Spectrum
Oh, no,
before.
I'm saying, no, WCW, I think.
No, this was way before. This was only when WWF was the only game in town.
Yeah.
Way back. This is going back to the 80s, 89 type of thing.
I watched it like mid-90s.
But, so Dave was cool. I want to have more guests on that may not even be photographers, but you can learn a ton from them. So
for sure.
That was that. Let's talk about the boot camp. Boot camp was in New Orleans. Thank you to everybody who came out to that. That was fantastic. Can you move that piece of fuzz right there on my arm? Thanks.
Bet no one can see.
Yeah, I can see it. It bothers me when I see fuzz on the table.
All right.
The boot camp was great. We were at a studio called Cathedral Studio. We were right near the French Quarter. The boot camp went well. I love doing these things. It's great seeing, just helping people get the good feelings of getting out of auto, and just seeing how easy it can be, and just getting the mentality set right off the bat. I mean, we jump people right out of auto. We start manual
Within
right 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We pick up all right, let's guess the settings. And basically what I do is we start with the set. We guess. I'm like, okay, what do you think it's going to be in here? Give me an ISO, and we do one thing at a time. And then we get the camera to to one thing, and we take a picture, and I go, all right, let's look at it. Oh my God, it's so dark. I'm like, all right, what do we need to do? I'm the subject. I'm not moving. And I just go through this whole process, and then we do, okay, now I'm moving my hands. And how are we going to freeze this? And it just starts to build the pieces in people's minds of how to make this stuff work. But
that's great.
In terms of the French Quarter, in terms of Bourbon Street, have you ever been?
No, but my brother lives down there, and I'm going at the end of January for his wedding.
It is such a tourist trap at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we walked down the street just to say we did it, and it was fine, but it's all drunk people. There's strip joints. It's very commercial at this point.
Yeah.
It's fine. You know, we had a great dinner the one night, so that stuff's cool. When I was flying on the plane, when I was coming from, we landed in Orlando because I had a connection, Orlando to Orlando to New Orleans. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting in the exit row. I've got that empty seat in front, no seat in front of me, so I could spread my legs out. And these girls were walking by, and the flight attendant guy he goes to these two girls. He goes, "Are you willing and able?" So that's what he said.
Wait, but just randomly?
Yeah, but because there were two seats next to me. But it was the exit row, so you have to be willing and able to operate the exit row. But he just said, "Are you willing and able?"
Ended it there?
Yes.
That
so the girls
terrible.
were like, "Sure, we'll sit there." And so I got these two hot girls sitting next to me.
That were willing and able.
Which were willing and able, which I tweeted. So I get up and I have these extra Southwest tickets for alcohol because I needed to use them before the end of the year. So, because they expire on the 31st again. Mm-hmm. And so when the guy comes around, I'm like, "Ladies, drinks on me." So I got a Jack and Coke. They got their white wine because that's what girls do. And
Gay.
we just... What?
Gay.
And we just started talking. The girl's like, she was talking about how she has a blog.
Oh, yeah?
I love this stuff. When somebody comes to me and they're like, she has a blog. I don't even remember the name of her blog.
What does she blog about?
I can't text her right now. She blogs about...
Like girl stuff?
Girls, like interior... Yeah, Vagisil.
That's awesome.
Interior design stuff. And she's just like, I post, but I don't post a lot. I'm like... Here comes some free consulting right now. And I was a little tipsy because I guess at 40,000 feet, you get drunker quicker because the air is... you get drunker quicker higher up.
Really?
Yeah. This is a fact.
I feel like you made that up.
No, it's a fact, right, people? This is a fact. It's true because it's happened to me before.
Probably because you're like more like lightheaded when you're up that high.
Well, and I hadn't really eaten.
Well, and you get... I feel like you're kind of a lightweight with
I
that
am a lightweight. You know, you've seen that.
Yeah.
I am a lightweight. But so these girls... And I'm so much better talking to girls when I've got a drink in me.
Everyone is. That's why everyone gets drunk at bars and hits on girls.
I know I need to do it more often, but then I worry about doing it too often and whatever. So I'm sitting there and we're flirting and we're talking. Well, not really flirting. We're talking. She's telling me about her blog. I'm like, all right, this is what you need to do. You need to make videos. I mean, you need to make videos. I mean, just for what you do. I'm like... And I rattled off 6 different things. And then like I gave her the whole marketing RAWtalk that you can go listen to.
The whole spiel.
The whole spiel. And it was cool because we were talking, where are they going, what you into. So that was good. And then by the end of the flight, they wanted to put my hair into a ponytail. So that's what I made a video of. Did you
saw
see
that.
it?
I thought they were shaving your head at first.
They weren't shaving my head on the airplane. The light.
The still of it looked like it was shaving.
Yeah. So, I guess it did with the light right there.
For sure.
So the girls were playing with me on the airplane at 30,000 feet.
And they were willing and able.
They were willing and able and playing. So I the first night we were there, we met them on Bourbon Street.
Did they flash you?
They didn't flash me. No, we went into...
Did you give them some beads?
We went into some bar and we were all hanging out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just hanging out?
Just hanging out. And that was it.
Nice.
They were cool.
Cool.
They were awesome. I also had a great...
What were they there for, by the way?
They were visiting a friend.
Okay.
They were visiting a friend.
Watch them be like my
people.
brother's friends or something.
Nah, they were cool people. I like talking to girls.
Yeah.
Especially on the airplane. Yeah, but then flying home, I know, again, I'm taking up all your time.
It's all good.
Because this is just editing time. For anybody that hasn't seen I put up the photo on Facebook. It was a good thing you sent me that.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand what the hell you do. I mean, I understand what you do.
Well, I also do it a different way than some people would.
Yeah, I mean, you had like 8 million clips there.
Well, I do it manually. I clip it manually and do layers versus people do the multicam panel and sequence and all that, which I could do, but that also adds a shit ton of rendering time in the end, which it's an hour and a half podcast. Like it ends up being what, a 12 gig file. We're dealing with almost 90 gigs of data to begin with. So it just takes up probably an extra 3-4 hours just to render if I did multicam. If I do just manually cutting and slicing, it's a lot quicker. Well, it's not quicker. It takes long, but it's quicker when it comes to exporting. I could just export like that, no rendering.
We're going to, going forward into the new year, we've upped the quality. Obviously, since you came along to start doing this stuff, we had one camera.
Oh, yeah.
We started with one camera here, then we added the 2 angles, and then we added the 4th angle. I mean, we just added the 4th angle, but the quality has gone up. We've got the Atomos. I mean, looking back at RAWtalk from where it started a year, you just did audio at first. In this year, it started as just audio. That was in 2012. But in 2013, which was as soon as I got into the loft again and started to do podcasts around the table, it's gotten so much better. I think I had to change the way it was going because there were I'd do flying solo 2 weeks in a row or 3, and I'd be sitting at my computer and I'd do it. And yeah, that's like me just talking to people. And it's not. You did it there? I did. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that was before you came around, and that was just like, it was kind of getting boring. Or doing an interview over there, it wasn't the same. It's flat. And then, you know me, I'm always wanting to change how we do things and up the ante. And then you coming along to do the audio better. And then we started to add these extra cameras. And now you sit at the table full time, where you used to be over there on the side, which whatever. Now you're here because I like the back and forth talk. I think the quality has gone way up. We picked up these Rode mics. Rode gave us these mics this year and these mic arms. We're working with Atomos, trying to get Kino flows we got now. Yeah, we're trying the Kino flows. Now they didn't give me those. You bought them. I spent $3,250, and that was used. That was used. That whole setup is probably close to $5,500 to $6,000. The guy's like, "Would you do 4?" I'm like, "Nah, I'd do about 3." They're great lights. I mean, I love them just because they're literally daylight bulbs. Well, this is what they use in studios. Yeah. When Dave is in studio, Leno, this is the stuff they use, and I've seen it. Well, he was saying last week too how this is like a TV production that we have set up, and it's literally me and you. So the next, well, it's mostly. I mean, I'm just a personality, but no, you do a lot of this. We do the setup together. I'd say I do about 90%. You do about 85%. Actually, you do most of the setup now. Yeah. Well, because usually I'm over there studying, reading up on my notes, and getting that stuff going. I'm so specific with things anyway. I'd rather do it myself just to make sure I know everything was done. And I am all for people taking the initiative to give a shit about their stuff so much. And I'm very appreciative of all you do. I don't have to, even though I say how much time's left. We do have time. All right. I'm trying not to worry about it as much this week and let you do your thing, because you know what you're doing, so I don't have to worry about you with the focus as much, even though... Well, once I fuck up once, I'm not going to do it again. But I think because when I mess up, you get so concerned. But I get concerned because I like to I don't like to mess up, but if I'm the one who messes up, it's on me. Yeah. It's my thing. So it is what it is. But the show has gotten a lot better, and I think there's another step we can take, and that's probably moving on to a live switcher slash HD switcher. HD switcher and recording, which means I may need to bring another person in. Well, I'll need to bring another person in to do the live switching, and what that would mean is we have a done file. Except for the audio. See, that's the other thing. We have to figure out how's the audio going to be done. You have to sync it up later. Yeah, but then it's going to get recompressed. We have to maybe export live switch it to a lossless codec or something. We have to figure it out. We'll have to figure it out. It's a big process. Or maybe you can do the compression beforehand while we're run it through while we do it. I mean, the Zoom, I'd have to do it through the Zoom and then export to the Zoom line out to the HD switcher. But the compression's not going to be as good as what we do now. Oh, anyway. Because that's more of a custom compression that I have set. We digress. We digress. Yeah. We digress. No, but really, the RAWtalk going forward into 2014, we'll have a new logo for RAWtalk. Nice. That is done. It's in the can. I actually have an aluminized print here from Adorama Picks. I have seen it, and I really like it. We kind of went back and forth. You've seen the logo? Yeah. Well, not the print. If anybody wants a kind of an idea of what I based it off of course it's my head in there, my logo, but the background is based off of an album from the 90s.
Is it?
Yes.
Rock?
Well, yeah. It's based like I sent the album to JP and was like, this is what I want on the background. It's the New Radicals album.
Oh.
It's a sunburst basically in the background. It's awesome.
Have I seen that?
Yeah, you've seen that.
I don't remember seeing the sunburst.
Oh, well, it's in the background.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so we'll do that. That's going to roll out in the first episode of 2014. I got to figure out how that gets all changed on iTunes. I don't know.
It's probably easy, I'm sure.
I have to figure that out, how you change that.
It's probably through your syndicated service that exports all the
I think it is.
podcasts.
How are we doing on time?
I'm going to switch it now.
Okay, you go switch it.
We still have time, but I know how you are.
I know. I just like to get it right. Oh, and I had a correction from when I did the Postman Fro of the video might go. Rode made a correction of me. They said that you can't plug it into an iPhone yet.
Yes.
You knew that?
Well, I saw the comment they posted.
Right. So you can't do that yet. But they're going to be coming out with an adapter. So there's that. I like actually going back and doing corrections that need to be made. So the video might go. We know what it is now. We've done the unboxing. We've talked about it. You plug into your camera. But knowing that, putting it into the iPhone would be cool. And also, there is no Android app for it yet. It's just iOS.
I bet you can't put it into the iPhone because it's got to be powered through the camera. Because it's not self-powered. That's probably why.
Oh, all right.
I'm assuming. Like, I bet you can probably do the Video Mic Pro. I'm not going to
I don't know. No, I think it has something to do with the plug.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. They did say something about the plug.
It was just a plug.
Yeah.
So we got that. What else do I have here on my notes? We did the Bootcamp thing. Steven's feeling better. We've got the Wheel of Fro coming up later. We got a Gear of the Week type thing.
I don't even know what Gear of the Week is this week.
Well, yeah, you do.
Do I?
It's the
that
thing over here.
That thing you showed me. I didn't realize that was Gear of the Week.
I showed you that thing.
You show me it, but
Steven.
you usually don't tell me it's Gear of the Week.
Oh, I don't tell you anything.
I know.
Do we want to get to your news yet? I don't.
I think we should.
I don't. I got
20
something else
in.
to talk about.
All right.
Before we get into your news, and we have Flying Solo to jump to.
After news.
Oh, you know what? Let's do news.
You sure?
Yeah, do news now, and then we'll do. I've got something else to talk about, and then I've got my year end stuff.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
predictions.
Well, first up, we have the biggest camera ever put into space. A billion pixel camera was launched last week, which will be mounted on the Gaia Space Telescope.
I'm going with Gaia. Gaia.
I'm going with Gaia.
But Gaia would be GIA.
I don't know.
See, Gaia.
Either or, Gaia or Gaia Space Telescope. It'll photograph our entire galaxy in greater detail than ever before. The mission's aim is to build a three-dimensional picture of our galaxy, which will be pretty cool. And the telescope is so awesome that it could detect the width of a human hair on Earth all the way from space. That's how powerful this thing is.
And the other thing that I read is that it could read the thumbnail. It could see the thumbnail on the moon if it was on Earth.
That's crazy.
Is that insane or what?
I think it was something like 620 miles away from Earth or something like that.
Or is it a spy satellite?
I have no idea.
Or are they going to be like trying to spy on ladies by the pool?
we need to check out the width of each hair on that fro. Right now, zoom in. But anyway, it's going to cost $549 million to build, which is pretty crazy.
Well, they already built it,
and the total mission costs $740 million.
So what?
So it's a pricey thing. It's not like anyone could just do it.
Yes, it is. Like Branson can do it, and Elon Musk can do it.
The Virgin dude, what's his name?
That's Richard Branson.
Oh, is it?
He's the Virgin dude.
I don't know names.
Come on, it's Richard Branson, man.
I don't know. He's the one that's doing that. What's it called?
He's doing Virgin Galactic.
That's it. They're almost there, right?
Almost, and I know a guy who has a ticket for one.
Really?
Yeah, he
How much
bought
does a ticket cost?
$250.
$250 million?
No, 250,000.
Oh wow!
You don't actually get to do very much. It just takes you up into space, and then it brings you down from space.
250,000. Could you imagine doing that for one trip?
No, I'll buy a bowling alley instead.
All right, let's buy a bowling alley.
I could get 2 lanes for 140,000. I've done my research.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You really want to get a bowling alley?
I will. It's
You're talking with Leno about that.
Who?
Dave Leno.
I was. It's my Dave's a bowler.
Yeah.
It's a 3 to 5 year plan. I would need a new house with room for putting a bowling alley in. I can't afford it right now, but that's a goal. I like setting lofty goals.
That's a pretty awesome goal.
It is. I like bowling.
Yeah. Moving on, we have Custom SLR. They made a Christmas tree out of tripods, which is pretty cool. The tree consisted of 40 tripods they used, 300 ornaments, and 486 feet of garland, which stood about 17 feet tall. And they spent about 14 hours just to build this thing. They didn't know if it would work at first. They just build it, and it happened to work out. Not just for fun, though. All the decorations were donated to the Salvation Army, and the tripods are being donated to after-school and nonprofit photography programs, which is about 10 grand in gear total. So it's a lot of tripods. I think they were the Photo Pro tripods. Again, 40 of them. And then we have LensTag. They're back in the news this week. They released a gear theft infographic, which uses the site's statistics to break down the 8 most common ways that gear gets stolen. So it breaks it down by percentage, with car theft and home robbery coming in at number 1 and the number 1 and 2 spots, which I pretty much assumed it was going to be car theft and robbery. Remember when my car got broken into here?
I do.
Yeah, that wasn't a fun day. Luckily, I didn't have any of my gear in it. I had it all up here, so nothing got stolen. But they also breaks down the top stolen cameras and lenses, with the Nikon D7000 coming at the top camera stolen, and the Canon 70-200 f2.8L IS2 being number 1 lens that is stolen, which is a very expensive lens.
Yeah.
D7000, I think, is what, cheaper than that, right?
A lot cheaper than that.
Because that lens is like $2,300.
Yeah.
It's an expensive one. Just another reason, though, why you should insure your gear. Get insurance right away, because this stuff happens a lot, especially car theft.
Yep.
Moving on, we have a new super fast lens has been announced. It's claiming to be the fastest lens in the world for mirrorless systems. It's called the Handyvision Ibelux 40mm f.85. 0.85 aperture, not even f1, which is crazy. It's expected to be available in February, and it's set to cost $2,000, 2080. Yeah. It should be 2085, if anything. But f.85, can you imagine having a super shallow lens like that?
But again, don't forget the size of the sensor is different, so it all doesn't equate to the same thing as a full frame.
Well, what about Sony?
It's still... Is that for Sony?
It just says for mirrorless systems.
Right.
It doesn't say specifically.
Or Micro Four Thirds. You don't know what size sensor it's really designed for.
That is true. And then moving on, we have, this is something we should have included in the holiday buyer's guide, something really cool, something we both need, a new product called the Polaroll. It's now available. It's a toilet paper dispenser that gets shaped like the classic Polaroid SX70. It's not too pricey either. It's only about $27. Boom. But I think it's already sold out, at least when I checked the website this morning. And they're in the UK, so I'm not sure if they definitely ship here. I'm assuming they do, because Petapixel and all the other photo news websites posted about it. But yeah, it's sold out right now, but that's something I definitely wanted for Christmas. Hopefully it'll be out in the new year, or available at least.
All I want for Christmas is you. Mariah Carey.
Pretty awesome song right there.
That Mariah Carey version is so awesome. And then it's great when you listen to it back in Love Actually. They sing the same song.
Do they?
Well, yeah, but it's not her singing. It's some little girl. But it's still, everything is, the Mariah Carey version is the best of the best of the best with honors, sir. It really is.
It is, I guess.
How does it go?
I don't know. It's the All I Want for Christmas song?
Yeah, how's it go?
All I want for Christmas is you. That way?
Wow, Steven.
Was
Can
that
they
good?
yell at me?
I'm gonna put some auto-tune on that.
Can you do that?
No, I gotta download the auto-tune plugin. I lost it, so.
You got to get the auto-tune plugin so you can do me singing.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to sing this because I don't know the words. But what is your favorite Christmas song?
My personal favorite?
Yeah.
I don't really have one. I mean, I kind of don't listen to Christmas music until, like, literally Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
The piano can play some.
It could, yeah. What? Yeah. But that'd be a little...
annoying in the background.
Annoying, yeah. Especially during RAWtalk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But what is yours? That one?
I liked all you... Yeah, and my dad likes... I think he likes chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I'm
not a huge fan of that one.
He likes
he likes the slower stuff?
Well, I don't remember. I mean, we used to sit going blue. You know, Elvis's Blue Christmas.
I do like that one. That one?
Yes, Steven.
My mom loves Elvis, so she plays it all the time.
All right. Photo news.
Photo news, back to it. We have another cool item, but pricier item to have around the house. A 24-karat gold-plated Nikon FS is up for sale on eBay, and it's 60% off. Originally going for $12 grand, it's now up for a buy-it-now price of $4,800. It features lizard skin accents, even the coupling ring. Even the coupling ring on the 51.4 is gold-plated, along with the Nikon logo on the lens cap itself. It's never been used, brand new camera, no film ever put in it. It's one of only 2,000 produced, which they got produced in 1984. in commemoration
For the Olympics?
of the Nikon FA winning the Camera Grand Prix prize.
Just call it the LA Olympics.
Yeah, pretty much. And apparently there are several, though, on eBay. There's a couple of them that people have seen. They're going between $1,000 and $2,000, so it's much cheaper to maybe search a little more if you're going to jump on something like this. I don't know if this one's more pricier because it's literally like never been opened or used, but we'll have to see. But I would love to have something like this. This would be a cool thing to maybe have a flight with one of those lamps, a gold-plated camera with a little lamp on top.
Okay, don't get me started on the flight.
It's like I think of A Christmas Story where he's got that like leg lamp.
Yeah.
You have the Nikon FS.
Yep.
And then we have a
Fragile.
Fragile. A photographer had his rocket blower confiscated by the TSA because they thought it could fly like a missile. And I actually brought mine in.
So let me ask you
this.
something, Steven.
The Rocket Air, or whatever it's called.
Because it can fly like a missile. Fly like an eagle into the future.
Is that Space Jam, right?
No, it's Steve Miller Band
no, I'm
again.
Saying, wasn't that
it's Steve Miller Band, isn't it?
It is, I think.
Fly like
that was in Space Jam, though, wasn't it?
Fly. I don't remember Space Jam very much. But what if you had a Nerf football? Because this, in essence, is a Nerf football.
That's true.
It's like, give me a break, TSA. My favorite thing is when you go to the TSA stand and they throw the water out. It's like they take the water and they throw it right in the trash. And you sit there and you go, well, if you're just going to throw it in the trash, how do you know it wasn't dangerous to begin with? And here's another thing that happened to me when I traveled with the I like to opt out to get my balls felt. You know, because well, why not? Get a guy touch me, feel me, whatever.
That's so awkward.
Touch me, heal me.
What song is this?
Touch me. Heal me. I don't remember.
I have no idea what you just said.
But so I opted out, and then so I'm going to get searched because I don't want to go through the millimeter wave system because I don't know that stuff isn't damaging. I mean, I already have a cell phone connected to my balls basically
all the time.
All the time. What was that noise? That was downstairs. I always have that connected, so I don't want more millimeter wave systems scanning my body. Like, how do you know that they'll say it is perfectly safe? Oh, just because the TSA says it's perfectly safe? Like Teflon is safe, right? Until you start eating it in the 80s and it's causing cancer now. You know, stuff like that pisses me off. So I opt out. Then they let the next 5 people go straight through the metal detector without bypassing the other thing. I'm like, really? And like, well, you already opted out, so you have to get searched. So they make you wait. Then this guy starts searching me, doing it in public because I want to have it done in public. And I know the process because I've done it before. And then you know how they put their hand, they put it into a chemical machine basically to see if there's any chemicals. Well, the machine errors. It gets an error.
This was this past trip?
Yeah, it gets an error, and I'm like, what does E6 consist of? They're like, well, it's happened numerous times, and we think there's a problem with the machine.
Oh, that's good.
So because of the problem with the machine, they then start walking me. We're going to need to search you again in a private room. I'm like, for what purpose? I'm like, what can't you do right? And I'm giving them shit. I'm like, screw this. I don't give a shit that you're the TSA, and I'm not going to say anything out of line, but I'm also not going to sit there and go with everything you tell me to do. It's like you could lead me to, Jews ask questions. I ask questions, and I'm sure other people ask questions, but that's how you don't get led into the gas chamber. You ask questions. If I was just going to walk with them and no, it's true. It's true. That's one of the reasons I think Jews ask a lot of questions. At least my dad used to tell me. We ask lots of questions because if you don't ask questions, you end up in a gas chamber. Not that they had any recourse to get out of that if they said, "Oh, where are you taking me?" "Oh, we're taking you to the gas chamber." And it'd be like, I know this was highly politically incorrect.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they take me to this room and I'm like, "What purpose are you taking me to this room?" Search. They're like, "Well, we have to pat you across the front now." I'm like, across the front? I'm like, what are you going to get different patting me down when your machine errored? And I said, the guy told me that the machine has errored numerous times. And now you're taking me into a private room. I'm like, one, why don't you make the private room more inviting and less like a holding cell to make people feel less tense when they come in here?
That's true.
And I'm like, I'm not giving you shit. I'm just saying it like it is.
Make it like a green room.
You know, make it something that is
comfy.
Like, you know, furry walls, you know?
Welcome.
Furry walls don't get me down. Furry walls don't bring me down. Furry walls. Furry walls.
I love that part.
God, that movie's so good.
It is funny.
Get him to the Greek for anybody out there. Steven actually knows that one.
I do.
But so they search me again and they're like, well, we have to do this. I'm like, because I was worried. They're like, we're going to need to go further. Right?
Uh-oh.
No, that's what I was
In
like.
the butthole?
Well, I don't know what they would do, but I would have been like, no. And I'm like, I don't want to do it in a room. I don't want you two standing here with me in a private room. I want to be out in public. So they did their thing. I passed because the machine worked. And then I stood there and I talked to the TSA guy. And I'm just like, he's like, why'd you opt out of the machine? I'm like, because I don't know that that's safe. He's like, I agree with you. You know? And I was just being honest. I'm like, look, I don't know that that's not safe, and that's going to cause harm in the future. You can't tell me that it's.
Well, like, yeah, long-term effects you really can't tell.
Especially if you travel a lot. Do you want to be zapped 12 times?
That's true.
No, I'd rather be petted down, and then patted down. Yeah, but so anyway, I walked out of there feeling molested because he felt my penis. Yeah. In essence, he rubbed his hand across the front of my tight jeans. I was like, really? I'm like, what are you getting different here? Anyway, I'm sure people are like, move on at this point.
Yeah.
So then I'm going through the one in Florida, which I just had to go through the metal detector. And these old people basically, are sitting there going, yeah, this is a pain to do, but I see it's really worth it, and it's good security. And I sat there and I said, do you guys realize that this is a false sense of security? Seriously. I'm like, you taking off your shoes, me taking off my belt, it's bullshit. This thing that they're doing, we're 99.999% of the people aren't here to do harm, right? It's the 0.0001% of the assholes in the world are basically, you could walk into any place in the world, any mall, any school, which we've seen, and into an airport, and you can walk all the way up to the TSA agents.
Yeah.
Without anybody stopping you.
Yeah, I guess they're just obviously trying to just prevent from happening on the plane.
Well, they're going to prevent it from happening on the plane, but you've got thousands of people in a terminal. They could walk right up to the TSA booth. They can run right by because none of those people have weapons, and they can do whatever they want. So false sense of security. Sorry, I'm a very cynical person when it comes to traveling like that. Back to your photo news about the Rocket Air.
Where was I even at?
You were at that he had a Rocket Air.
All right, so he had a Rocket Air. Now, keep in mind, mine is called the HEPAJET Filter 2. It's not a specific Rocket Air.
It doesn't have wings.
The fins or the wings or whatever they're called. Now, it isn't the first time it happened for him either, since after all, it does kind of look like an old school bomb, his at least. Apparently, the photographer who goes under the name Surapan on the Canon Rumors forum says he was stopped by security and asked to open his bag when the officer spotted the blower and said, "Can it fly like a rocket?" That's what he was asking specifically. The TS agent said it has to be tossed, saying if someone put gunpowder inside the rocket blower, it can fly like a missile, which I think is pretty ridiculous.
I'd be like, dude, excuse me.
Yeah, like, are you kidding me? It's air.
This is called a Rocket Air. Google it.
Yeah.
Google it.
I would have, and he said he was blowing it in front of his face and stuff and doing all that.
Blowing it in front of his face.
Blowing
Good job,
in front
Steven.
of his face. And now he said this happened last year. But,
where though?
He didn't say where.
Because you know what? When I was getting searched, the lady was staring at me and she's like, "I like your shirt." Because she knew. She's like, us photographers need to stick together.
Or she's like, you shoot raw, huh? Come over. Are you ready and willing?
I'm not able. It was able and willing.
Able and willing.
And not with her, please.
But he said again, it happened last year, but he just brought it to light recently, and he has since cut off the fins or the wings or whatever they are, and said he hasn't been stopped since. So if you have a Rocket Air, just cut those things off, make it look like this.
Don't
or just
cut
buy
them
a
off.
HEPAJET too.
Don't cut them off. Go through the TSA agents, and I want to hear the story that happens when they tell you that it's going to fly like a rocket. Because my phone can fly like a rocket.
Yeah.
Do they? You know, they
or
scan your
Nerf ball
phone
or whatever.
My Nerf football. I had my workout bands with me. They're like, "What are these?" I'm like, "They're for my guns." No, I didn't say that. I didn't say they're for my guns, but you know, it's just asinine what you have to do sometimes. Sometimes it's better than others. Do you want me to reset this one?
Yeah.
You do news. I'll reset this one.
Sounds good. All right, so last, we have one more story, actually. We kind of flew by besides the TSA story. This is really cool. NASA released a panoramic image of Mars that was taken on the surface by the Mars Spirit rover.
Steven.
What?
How many weeks will you be on Mars?
What? Is this a joke?
No.
How many weeks will I be on Mars?
Yeah.
I don't know.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. You don't know what movie.
You did this before.
I did it before, and you still don't know what it is.
No, because it was like weeks ago.
No, it was like a year. It was like 6 months ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Total Recall.
That's it, Total Recall.
2 weeks.
I don't know, dude. You do these like small-ass references.
We got to get to Mars.
I've never seen.
We got to get to Mars. You got to get to Mars. Quado. All right, keep going. Quado.
So it was featured as their astronomy picture of the day recently on NASA's website. It featured a 360-degree panoramic image on top of a summit dubbed Husband Hill, which was named after the commander of the space shuttle Columbia that pretty much disintegrated. The cool thing is that Spirit was told to snap the source photos.
I got my thrills on Blueberry Hill. Blah, 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 blah. On Blueberry Hill. Fats Domino, I believe.
I think so.
Next.
Anyway,
it's the last episode of the year. It's the last episode of the year. There will be children cuddling a ring ding 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 a ling ling. Go ahead, Steven. I'll let you finish.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, when we stop so many times, the story doesn't even make sense by the time I finish it. People are like, what the hell was he even talking about?
All right, moving into the new year, Steven, I'll interrupt you just as much, probably.
Yeah, you will. You definitely will. But again, the cool thing is that the Spirit was told to snap the source photos at exactly the same resolution as a human with 20/20 eyesight. So this is literally what you would see if you were there, and it's a full res image, very detailed. The whole thing's up on the website. You can pretty much download it, and you can probably print it if you wanted to. So yeah, it's pretty cool to check out.
Thanks,
and that
Steven.
is it. That is it. Your freaking photo news.
So do you think in 2014 you may have a photo news theme song?
Maybe. I kind of gave up on the fact because what's the point of doing photo news when I get interrupted every 5 seconds?
I didn't interrupt you once this week.
Oh, come on now.
I had to. You said things that needed to be taken care of.
Apparently.
Is it my turn, Steven?
It is your turn.
So I've got a couple of things to talk about. I got looking for... Oh, you know how people talk about making New Year's resolutions?
Yes.
They're like, I'm going to make a New Year's resolution to lose 25 pounds or whatever it's going to be. I'm not a big fan of resolutions. I like goals. You know, you want to set a goal. You're going to attain it as long as you're working towards it. I wrote something here. Here are my thoughts on on New Year's resolutions. If you want to make a change, do it now. Don't wait. Just do it. People that they do this, like, I'm going to quit smoking tomorrow, next week. Don't quit smoking. If you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
If you want to, like, you quit, right?
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, I know you occasionally have one.
Yeah, on occasion, yeah.
But you used to smoke a hell of a lot more.
Well, I used to, when I was here, yeah.
Right. You'd go out on the balcony and you'd smoke, and then you'd come back in and you'd probably do 2 or 3 cigarettes in the time you were here.
Yeah.
Now you don't.
Least.
So, like, to me, I don't, just make the change. For once in your life, gonna make a change. Gonna make a change. Change. Woo! 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 It's Michael Jackson.
It sounded just like him.
Woo!
You know
I'm fat. I'm fat. Shamon. You're gonna shove it in my face and eat it. Eat it. Shove it in my face and feed it. That's Weird Al Yankovic. Anyway, so I don't know where I was going, Steven. Just something about that. Oh, so I was looking on Match.com yesterday.
For some honeys?
Well, yeah, I'm single. For anybody that doesn't realize that anymore, I'm single. I think you're single.
I am.
You're single. So I look on the internet. The possibilities are out there. It's not every day I meet a hot girl on an airplane, but I do, and they always live in another place, which is always frustrating. When
That's
you meet,
weird.
What?
That you meet another girl, meet a girl on an airplane and she lives somewhere else.
The funny thing about meeting a girl at an airport, I did this once.
Yeah.
All right. So I met this girl. I was sitting there. I usually pick to sit next to girls that are good looking because that's what I texted you about every girl that walked by. Remember?
Oh yeah, you did. I forgot.
I was like, what's with me? I look at every girl's ass that walks by.
What did I say? Doesn't
everybody? I'm like, okay, that makes me feel better. So I went into the airport. I was going to be flying to Vegas, and there was this girl, and I'm sitting there, and one thing leads to another, and she starts telling me about her Canon Rebel and 51.8. So I was giving her some education. Turns out we didn't live far from each other, and we went out for a while after.
Do I know this person?
No, because this was before. She ended up she bumped her flight. So I was like, I'm going to bump my flight. So I bumped my flight, but actually what happens is she ended up taking a different flight out, but we spent another hour together talking about music and photography. And I'm just, I guess girls tell me I'm a nice guy up front, and then after like a couple months, I turn into just me.
Jared.
Whatever that is. But anyway, Match.com. You go around, here, we have to make a video. I sent you an email last night.
About what?
Going forward, I want to do more comedy / funny entertainment type videos going forward. We've got some in the can, getting ready to film. But this one was the tips for taking profile pictures and stuff.
Oh yeah,
you know, but
that's where you got that idea from.
I did.
I was
I was
wondering.
sitting there searching around, and I'm like, there's a one picture of a girl. You can't have just one picture on Match and expect me to know who you are.
Is it like the high angle too?
It's always a high angle.
Always a high
and
angle.
my favorite are fat girls.
Yep.
Well, I don't even search fat girls. I'm sorry, fat girls. I know you need loving too, but still, don't take offense. Whatever. If you're fat, don't try to hide the fact that you're overweight or have a few extra pounds.
Just be yourself.
Just be yourself. There are fat liking people out there, or large girl liking people, and large men liking people.
You'd be surprised, yeah.
Be yourself. Put up a photo, and don't put that really close to your face, like tight face shot, and never. You have to show your whole body. You need to and find a photographer friend. There's so many out there.
Or maybe both. Like put a couple pictures up and put one headshot, one full body shot, whatever, 3/4.
Right, and if that's who you are, that's who you are. Because what's going to happen when you show up on a date?
Yeah, you're gonna
be like, wait, this isn't as advertised.
This isn't how you looked.
I'm just gonna be like, I'm not gonna sit here and go out to dinner with you because I know what I like.
You look like Kim Kardashian, yet you're a hobbit in real life.
Wow.
Did you see that
Steven.
South Park episode?
No, I didn't. You just keep quoting South Park. But I'm not.
I know.
I like a particular body type personally. That's my thing.
Big girls. You like the big girls.
No, I don't. I prefer not big girls, but that's everybody has a taste.
Everybody has their preference.
You know what? If you're going to be searching for something on Match.com, you bet, and they're not an advertiser, screw them. You better be looking for what you're interested in. But anyway, we're going to make something about that.
All
Profile pictures and how to do it right.
Are you actually going to be doing them? Like,
yeah, let's
do
do
the pictures?
Let's do them.
That'll be good.
We need to do that.
Should we dress you up like we did that
We're
one
gonna
show?
We're gonna dress me up. Maybe I'll be a fat girl.
Nice.
Maybe we'll put me in another dress, and I'll show you what good pictures to do.
Heels and everything.
How can you put up such bad photos? It's marketing. You're branding yourself. You're putting yourself out into the world. Why don't you look the best you can look, or not that you look the best you can look, but put up the most representation of yourself.
Look realistic.
Do you know what my profile picture is right now? Because I got pissed off at it.
No. What is it?
It's me working out in a tank top going like this at the gym. You know why? You know why? And I put a caption down, and I said, my favorite captions, my favorite quote is when a girl on her profile says, if you have a picture of yourself in the gym or working out or with your shirt off, don't even bother. You know what? Screw you.
Is that common? Like people post that?
Some girls do that. I'm like, you know what? So that's pretty damn judgmental right there, first and foremost. What are you going to think, that we're all meatheads because we work out? Don't you maybe want somebody with a great work ethic who wants to transform themselves into something cool? But then you don't want to be with a girl like that. Screw them. So that's my profile picture. I don't like it. I don't like dating. The problem with dating these days, Steven, is that you always think there's something better out there. I don't understand how people stay married for 10, 15, 30, 50 years.
Well, I think once it clicks, it clicks.
I know, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to test out the market and see where the clicking happens.
Trying to go fishing?
I'm not going fishing. I'm testing the waters.
Yeah.
Okay. This sucks. Year predictions, 2013. I want to blow through this because I don't want to get too way down. I made predictions last year in 2013, put up a video of what I thought. Basically, I predicted that Nikon would come out with a new full-frame high-end camera. I guess I was not exactly right, but they came out with the DF. That wasn't what I had in mind. So going forth into 2014, I'm still calling for a Nikon D4S, a replacement. I called for a replacement to the D7000, but I guess anybody could have been Nostradamus and seen that one. They replaced it, and I was right. I called for a new 7D for Canon. I was wrong.
I'm surprised it hasn't come out yet.
Surprised. Yeah. I also called for a high-end Canon range, high megapixel camera. I said 54 megapixels was my guess. That didn't happen yet. I also thought that they'd come out with a 14 to 24 2.8. They still haven't come out with that.
Waiting on that.
Sony prediction. I made a prediction for Sony. I made two. One, that they would not send me that they would not send me stuff this year, and I was right. They still have yet to send me stuff,
even after
that,
the big show.
And a second prediction was that Sony would push the next system into the full frame realm. So in essence, they did.
That's pretty true.
They did that.
Yeah.
Fuji, I said that they would come out with an X200. In essence, it was an X100S.
Yes.
I called for the death of the Nikon J1 and V1.
Didn't they come out with
They came out with an underwater camera, but nobody's buying this.
What's it called again?
The AW1.
That's it, yeah.
So Nikon's in trouble with that stuff.
Yeah.
I predicted Instagram ads. I said, don't be too thrown off if you see in-stream ads photos that are advertisements.
Which, by the way, I've only seen the Ben & Jerry's and one other one.
Lexus.
I haven't seen any other
Yeah,
ones.
there haven't been a lot.
I'm surprised.
It's probably not working.
It's probably super expensive.
I called for the death of Google Plus.
It's getting there.
It's
I'd say
still
it's about
yeah, but the problem is that YouTube and Google is forcing people to have Google Plus accounts.
That's true.
I would just imagine if they just said have a Facebook account and you could do this, but they won't.
No, they won't.
And I also predicted the Fronos Photo Flash Guide.
Oh, how'd you predict that?
I don't know. I kind of had a feeling, and I predict a new a new guide coming in 2014. This is gonna be a good one. I'm not telling anybody.
Yeah.
So this year, 2014, quick predictions: D4 replacement, high-end DSLR.
Definitely.
I'm thinking of a D4S and possibly something higher end,
like D4X.
Yeah, or just a higher megapixel one.
Okay.
Who knows what it's gonna be? I'm calling for the death of the Coolpix camera. It's not going to happen this year. I think Nikon, in order to stay in business, needs to finally realize that the cell phone market has taken over for low-end point-and-shoots. Nobody's going to go buy your Coolpix L100 or 1000 like they used to, because they'll just pull out their phone because their phone does the job that it's going to do. Where the Coolpix line will stay alive is in the mega zoom range. That's something different, because you can't get that with a cell phone, but they need to get past that.
Yeah, it's going to be the people that want to photograph their kids at the sporting events or something. Yeah.
Right. So I'll also go ahead and predict, I'd like to see a 24-70 2.8 version 2, and I'm just going to go out on a limb. This one's totally off the wall. 12-24 2.8, 2 millimeters wider than the 14-24 2.8. That lens is 6 years old already, the 24-70 and the 14-24.
You said 12 to 24?
12 to 24, full frame. That would be even Bowier. This is the 12. We're using the 14 to 24 right here.
You'd be on the verge of having circular distortion going on.
So who knows? You know, let's see. They're lower end cameras. They'll continue to replace them and make them better. And I just said Nikon has to adapt with the times. Canon, real quick, high megapixel full frame camera. Think that's going to happen this year.
I think so.
I'm not going to stick with 54. I'm going to say 81.2 megapixels.
81?
81.2 megapixels.
I'm going to say 46.
81.2 megapixels, Steven.
That's like medium format or large format going.
14 to 24. They need to have it.
I think that'll happen.
7D Mark II.
I think that'll definitely happen.
And I'm thinking of replacement to the 6D already.
Really?
Yep.
Like, what would that be? The 4D? No, it'd have to be
the 6D.
Yeah,
it would be the 6D Mark II.
You're right. They'll
just do that. Fuji new X Pro 1. That's their. I think they'll do that, and maybe Fuji will get into the full frame game. And then Sony. I wrote down more junk. Sigma.
The wireless one with the A7R and A7 were pretty good.
Yeah, that's fine. And then they came out with that attachment for the phones.
What's it called?
The nobody's gonna buy it because it's overpriced and nobody wants it camera.
It's a cool thing, but
Sony has done a great job with their with those cameras though. The full frame cameras, they are very, very good.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Sigma 70-200 2.8 OS, a new line, a new version one of that. I thought they would do it last year. They didn't, but they're going to keep pushing ahead into the year. And that is what I have for those predictions.
I think they're pretty spot on.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Why don't I do Gear of the Week?
Okay.
And then we'll do...
Do you want to do Wheel of Fro after that?
We'll do Wheel of Fro after that. Fat girls, stop taking pictures that make you not look fat. We already did that. I'm sorry. I'm not... there's... Just be representative of yourself.
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because this is... You are putting who you are. If you fake it... It's not like somebody's not going to know it as soon as they run into you.
Yeah.
So embrace yourself, whether you are large, thin, tall, or short. I guess I can't be too over the top when a girl's like, you must be 5'10". Because I've got things like I like thin and athletic girls.
Wait, like I said, everyone's different.
Everybody
Everyone
has
their
their
own
thing.
little fetishes or preferences or
Fetishes.
whatever.
Where was your brain?
Saying. Not me, but...
You don't like... Well, I mean, your last girl was like a toothpick.
Well, every girl that I've dated is kind of just whatever. For me, I think it's more...
It's the personality?
Personality.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be all like...
It's a personality.
But, I mean, it's just kind of... It's got to be personality first, then looks second.
Of course. And you have to be able to get along with that person, and you have to have something in common to talk about. But looks definitely are important.
Oh, you still have to be attracted, of course, to
You
the
have
person.
to be attracted. There has to be that it. The reason Meg and I broke up was we didn't have the it.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, it wasn't there.
Sometimes it doesn't click.
Unfortunately, because everything else was there. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know how these things work.
Yeah.
One day, I just wish it would work.
Yep.
All right.
It will.
Gear of the Week, then Raw, Wheel of Fro, and Flying Solo.
Sounds good.
How we doing?
I'm gonna reset these.
All right, go ahead. I'm going to talk about this. All right, so I got a message from somebody that they were checking on this. They saw on Think Geek, which is a cool website for stuff, that they had these lens pillows. Steven saw it. I saw it. They have a Canon one. They have a Nikon one. They have a 24-70 Nikon. They have a 24-105 Canon. Then they had both 50 millimeters, which looked pretty small. Now I've got one right here. For some reason, I bought both the Canon and the Nikon, the 24-105 and the 24-70, because they were bigger.
Yeah,
and they were $79 a piece. That's not cheap.
It's not at all. I still think it's overpriced, and I also wanted this as well, which it's way smaller than what we thought it was going to be.
I thought that this was going to be a hell of a lot bigger than it was. Now, it's built very well. This is a 24-105 f4. It has the plastic on the front. It feels heavy, which is nice. It's a thick, I mean, it says it has the AF thing on the side. We can see that right there. You can see this right here.
It's very detailed.
It is very detailed. I can't wait to get the Nikon one because we can totally have a fight.
It even has the little ridges and everything.
And it even has the red,
like the ring,
the red L lens,
the red L,
and it says image stabilization.
That would have been cool if they put like a lens cap or something. Like,
yeah, big lens cap.
Yeah.
So this thing is cool. This is gear of the week. I'm waiting for I ordered them at the same time. I was hoping to get the Nikon here, but Postman Fro.
He's a little late. It's the holiday season.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, he may not be able to get it to you in time, but Think Geek had these, and I know that Photo Jojo had them. I mean, it feels heavy. It's nice. I like it.
You got it fast, though, I would say.
Well, I got this one
right?
fast.
Yeah.
And it says LISUSM on it.
Oh, wow. The thing I don't like about it, though, is that it's so misleading, their advertisement, because it's literally almost half the size of the dude's body who's holding it up.
But it's not.
Yet it's only, what, like the size of our torso. It's not big at all. I can't imagine how big the 50 millimeter is.
It's much smaller.
It's got to be, like, yay big. Like
so,
you
Steven,
throw it around.
You want to, I want to talk about one thing.
Okay.
Sunday, December 29th, I'm doing that meetup. The last photo meetup of the year in Philadelphia. So it's a Sunday, December 29th.
I'll be there.
You're going to be there?
I'm 90% sure.
This is an opportunity to walk through a museum or walk through a Pulitzer Prize winning image exhibit, and it's at the Constitution Center in Philadelphia. That's like 5th and Vine or 5th and Market or something.
Yeah.
It's Independence Mall. It's where the Liberty Bell is. It's where Independence Hall is.
Right over Ben Franklin Bridge.
Yeah, so it's real easy to get to if you take the L, or if you're coming from out of town, there is parking there. The exhibit is $14.50 to go in. I'm not collecting money. This isn't my thing. You pay the museum, but I'm going to pay for my ticket. I'll pay for Steven's ticket. We'll go through this. Basically, what we're going to do is go through this Pulitzer Prize winning exhibit of all these photos. There's like a couple hundred photos in there, and have discussions, because I think that's what museums are about, to have discussions about photos. So come on out, December 29th. It's Sunday, starting at, we're going to start the walk at 1 through the exhibit. So get there anywhere from 12 to 12:45. Meet up with other Fro readers. Just start having conversations. We'll get there and we'll go through, and that's the meetup.
Can they bring cameras
You're
inside?
not allowed to shoot inside.
Okay, so maybe don't bring anything.
You can bring your cameras, because
you can walk through with it, though.
You can walk through with it. They just say no flash, no video or photography.
Gotcha. Now, the other thing is I was reading someone's comment when we brought this up last week, and I think they said something like Citibank card users get in for free or something. One of the credit card companies, if you look it up, I'm sure it'll have it on the website.
They didn't mention anything to me about that.
Yeah, I saw someone commented saying it's either Citibank or MasterCard card users or holders get in for free. So hopefully that'll happen too.
So let's get this wheel set up.
Yeah.
You want to throw it up on the table, set it up there. I picked somebody this week who gave a flying solo question. You got to turn it this way. So somebody who gave the flying solo question, I picked from there. So you had a chance of like 1 in 100 to get picked for that. I will go back and find all the people who went on and hashtagged on Twitter. You're still in the running. Don't worry about that. But I'm going to spin this week. I'll tell you for who in a minute. We've got Adorama picks on the wheel this week. We have the same people on the wheel. I may refresh it going into the new year. You can win Frono's Photo Beginner Guides. There's a question mark, which means you'll win anything that comes up on the wheel. We've got a year's worth of Squarespace. We've got Rode microphones. I'll probably give you something really cool. And the 12 Days of Christmas thing that they ran was awesome. We had a Fro reader win something, by the way, Steven. They won the Smart Lav.
Oh, very nice.
A bag from Think Tank. Adorama picks, we got all that stuff and the road, and that's where we're at. So this week, playing, because I liked their question. They actually listed a thing, and they're like, give me a rapid fire to these 7 questions, which was cool. They were pretty good. It was like choose one or the other, and we'll be getting up to that in a minute. It is Lear La Madrid. That's their name. What? That's their name. They're playing for a spin. Oh, you already have your thing up there? That's why I can't talk to you? All right, so let's get a good spin in on this. This is the last spin of the year, and then we will redo it for the next year. All right, I want a good... my apple juice is here. Okay, let's get a good spin. Oh, wait, I'm going to keep going. There we go. That's good. Here we go. It's spinning. The last spin of the year for Lear Dudramid. Where are you going to stop? Where are you going to stop? Pass road. Just pass road again, and it lands on Squarespace.
Oh, my God.
So anybody... All right, remove the wheel. Let me tell you about Squarespace this week. You can get Squarespace. You can get go to squarespace.com/fro, where they will give you a 14-day free trial for trying out Squarespace. Steven still has yet to set his up, which I think is something he may do in the new year when I help him do it. I'm going to spend some time between now and the end of the year, going in and getting my stuff reset on the website, because I really want to up my own personal stuff. But on Squarespace, if you use code, what did I say?
Is it Fro?
Well,
now?
It was Fro. It was
Fro 12.
It was Fro 12, but just use Fro. Use Fro.
Is it going to be 01?
No, just use code Fro when you go ahead and sign up, and you'll get 10% off your first order. 10% off. So that means if you sign up for a year, you're going to get 10% off for that year. It's big savings. I like it. All I can really do is tell you to try it out for the 14 days. It's an affordable, easy-to-use, turnkey solution. I think it's amazing for photographers. You don't need to know HTML. You don't have to go and use WordPress, which is free, but then you still need somebody to host it, and you still need to know what you're doing with it. Try it out. If you don't like it after 14 days, don't use it. But if you do like it, I think it's a great way to have your portfolio and your image online. So that's Squarespace right there. Is it time for flying solo?
It is time.
How far in? Did you look at how much time?
Well, I'm pretty sure we're about an hour now, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be an hour and a half. Who saw that coming? Not me.
It's the last one of the year, Steven. So we got Wheel of Fro we just did. We did the pillow that was misleading. Now it's time for flying solo.
And expensive.
First question of the week comes from Steven
Miller
Eckert.
From me.
Can I spin the Wheel of Fro?
I did comment on that.
You did. So the answer to Steven is no.
Oh. But I put it up and everything.
I know. I saw. That just shows you I go through and pick these.
That's funny.
R.G. Anglin, can you talk about what legal documents you use regularly and what all photographers must be intimately familiar with, such as contracts, model releases, and NDAs?
Huh. That's
Do you use anything?
Personally?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like to...
Do you carry around a model release?
I don't. I have an app.
What app is it? Because I want to get that app. I still should have it.
I thought it's called like the photographers. Let me see if I have it on here. This is my new phone. I didn't download it yet, but there's an app where you can actually it has like forms inside it that are kind of pre-filled out, and you can sign it there.
And you take somebody's picture.
Yeah, you can email it to them.
And it emails it right to them. So
yeah, it's really nice. I think it's just called like photographer.
Just Google. On the App Store, just look for photo release apps.
Yeah, it's really nice though.
I don't carry much around. I don't do a lot with photo releases. Should I? Probably. It's just a pain in. It really is a pain in the ass. You try to do handshake things, but if you do video of somebody and say, "Do I have your permission to do X, Y, and Z?" and you get them on video, to me, I think that's lawyers will tell you that that's not the same thing because they didn't sign it, but it's them telling you on video that they are the ones saying, "Yes, you can use my image. I approve. I approve this message."
It's way easier to just sign something and fake, forge something.
Right.
Like
so if they're telling you it in video, like I'll say, "Is it okay if I record this?" And they're like, "Yes, it's okay if you record this and reuse it because you have my permission."
I typically get all that stuff out of the way though first, all the photo release forms and blah blah blah. Like before we do a shoot or a contract or whatever, I send it to the person first, get it signed, have everything ready to go when I'm there. That's what I do personally.
Oh, I just cracked my neck.
Sounded pretty good.
Mike Constable, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I mean, I really have no idea how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Wasn't that like a recent commercial?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was Geico or something.
No, but it was something about woodchucks.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one. I really have no clue. Mauricio Fernandez. Mauricio Fernandez.
Pretty badass name.
Prime versus Zoom. I know you're a Hebrew Trinity lover. However, what is your favorite Prime and why?
I thought we had this before.
Well, probably, but there's the 200 f2, which would be great for studio shooting. All around, probably the Canon 85 1.2.
Me too. That or the 51 too. Well, probably the 85.
Well,
though.
you're using the 51 2 right here.
Right now on my angle, yeah.
Yeah, so that's my answer. It's probably the 85 is beautiful from Canon.
It's so nice. I actually do most of my shoots with that, with the 85.
You have it?
No, I rented it.
Oh, all right.
I rent it a lot of times when I do the big shoots.
Hunter Evan White. What is the best way to work with other photographers as partners? Have you ever worked with another photographer in a business situation? Cheers to the new year. Now pass me the eggnog. I'm not a big fan of partnerships. Unless somebody brings something, like unless there's a business side and the one partner isn't a photographer and they deal with strictly business and bring in a ton of stuff and it's your job to go and photograph, that is good. But straight up two photographers working together, you got to think, you got 2 mouths to feed, you got to make twice as much money. I'm more of a fan of having your own company and subcontracting out to another photographer. It's clean. It's cut and dry. They have their own company. So like if Adam had me come do a wedding, I would get paid to do the wedding with him. Or if Adam went and did a wedding with me, he would, or Richie or anybody, they would get paid a fee.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into percentages and splitting and all this, and I do more work than you do, so I should make more. No.
Yeah, just get a couple second shooters and be good to go. I mean, you can even get interns or whatever it may be.
Subcontract out over partnerships unless a partnership is legitimately worth it.
Yeah, which is rare.
Well, yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard out here.
And it ruins
for a
friendships
pimp.
too, I think.
What is
Business.
What is this song? It's hard out here for a pimp when you try to get that money for the rent. When the Cadillac and gas money spent, there'll be a whole lot of bitches jumping ship. You know it's hard out here for a pimp.
It sounds very
when you
familiar.
try to get the money for the rent.
But I'm getting nothing.
When the Cadillac and gas money spent,
Kinda like
there'll
it,
be a whole lot of bitches jumping ship. I've seen many crazy things in this world. It's Terrence Howard.
Oh, I
in
did
that
not see
movie.
that coming.
What movie is it now that I can't remember what movie
You're
it is?
asking me what
but
movie it is?
I love it. I have it on Blu-ray. Oh. Can you look it up real quick? Terrence Howard movies. It's the one Not Hard Out Here for a Pimp. It's
Is it recent or?
Oh yeah, it's not too far. So Steven's gonna look up because that is one of my favorite movies ever.
Terrence Howard.
Yeah, it's got some DJ Qualis is in it.
Let's see here. It's gonna take me a minute if you want to.
Yeah,
look
no,
up
don't
stuff.
take a minute. Do you have the IMDb app on
I'm
there?
looking it up right now on IMDb itself. Filmography. We have
It's a couple years back.
A couple years back, like 2000s.
Yeah.
All right, so we have.
Hustle and Flow. Beat you to it.
Oh,
my brain accessed the data. Accessing brain data. Hustle and Flow. Love that movie.
I never saw it.
Danny Rodriguez.
Wow, he's in a lot of movies.
What are your thoughts on giving models from Model Mayhem? What are your thoughts on paying models from Model Mayhem?
Isn't that the purpose of Model Mayhem?
Well, yeah, some people do other things,
To not
but
pay?
great. I think it's a great way to find dates. I'm gonna start doing that. I think, but no, look, you got to remember they're trying to do a job too.
Yeah.
So you want to get paid to do your job, then you better well pay the models. I don't have a problem getting models from Model Mayhem. Just obviously be careful. Don't be a creeper. Don't be a guy like show up and I want to shoot you naked and be a shitty. Like there's people that do that. They're photographers, quote unquote, and they get people from Model Mayhem and they take terrible nude photos because they just want to see people naked.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Weirdos.
But it's a good place to get models.
Yeah, I thought it's supposed to work both ways. It wasn't like the photographer does free work for a model who was also doing free work for the photographer.
That could work.
I don't know. That's what I thought Model Mayhem was like for, but I never actually used it. So
Partially.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Brown. How do you tell somebody they aren't good at photography? Like they are really bad, but
You
they
suck.
love photography.
I have a friend like that. That's not that good at photography.
Is it Edgar?
No, it's no one you know.
It's not Edgar?
And I'm not going to say if it's a he or she, but basically they aren't that good at photography, yet they think they are, and they put all these really bad pictures up, and it's just like, what are you doing? And they have their own business and do weddings, and it's just like,
Ooh.
Wow, that was nice.
Did
that
you
was
hear
a nice
that?
crack. That should come up on the audio.
That was all my fingers, all 10 of them. Yeah, there's not much you can say. You can just do better work.
Yeah, I don't say anything.
You can just show that your work's better. I mean,
just yeah.
You're not going to sit there and be like, you suck. You know, you're a terrible photographer, even though...
It is hard, though, for someone that, say, they're a family member or something. They're trying to do really good at photography or make it their job or career. How do you let them down, you know, the easy way?
Or you just try to help them.
Or you could do that. Show them froknowsphoto.com.
Exactly. Ryan Kendall, if you want to stand out in an oversaturated market, what would you do? That's that's for you to figure out.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how to stand out in the world. I've already done it. I've stood out. I've already done that for myself. So I can't tell you what you need to do to stand out. You have to find out for yourself how to stand out, excuse me, in the world of photography. What are you going to do that's different? What are you going to do that's going to separate you from the pack? I can't tell you that. I just can't.
It's a tough thing. You can't really answer it for someone. It's like you said, it's just something they have to do and figure out on their own. You know, it's like, you can't copy or do whatever. You just got to do it. Whatever that is.
Exactly. It,
yeah.
Adam Peel, if a camera company came to you and asked you to make a Fro bundle, what would you put in it? A Fro bundle. So let's just say if I had to bundle some lenses and cameras, I think if I had to do it for the general public, I would bundle a D610 with a 24-70 and 70-200. I think that would be the starting bundle. Start here and you've got the wide angle to zoom, and you've got a telephoto so you can do portraits to wide angles. You could do a wedding with a 24-70 and a 70-200. You could do almost anything with that combination right there. That camera and those two lenses.
I agree. I mean, if you need two lenses, those are the two to get. If you're going to have only two for the rest of your life.
Hans Haberkorn. What about charging friends money for a photo job you do done for them? I don't really feel comfortable of doing that. So if a friend asks me to take photos for them, I do it for free. I don't know really why. Maybe because they may see the progress when I'm getting better and may feel kind of cheated or so. Even so, I'm very confident in the quality of photos I take, or maybe because I'm afraid of what they start to gripe. Would be nice to hear your thoughts, advices. Thanks. I love advices. So it depends.
That's tough.
Right? This is a tough situation. When they are close friends, you sometimes just do things because you do something for them, they do something for you. It just sometimes works out that way. But when it's a real deal job that they need you to do, you have to charge.
Yeah.
You have to charge. Like, you don't take your car to them at the local place to get your oil changed and they give it to you. They charge you for they may not charge you for the labor, but they'll charge you for the oil and they'll charge you for the thing. So there are friend prices. There's friend prices that you can give, but you still have to charge.
I agree. I mean, I've done
my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Ding, it's better than yours. They're like, ding, it's better than yours, but I have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Ding, that's better than yours.
Is that what you paused for, to think of a song that had charge in it?
Well, I had to think of the song because it's like, but you have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Ding.
I don't know how you remember lyrics that
yours.
good,
Ding.
dude.
It's better than yours, but I have to charge.
I'm terrible with lyrics.
So you have to charge.
Yeah. I mean, I do photo shoots for my one friend's band, like I brought up last time, and it's just something that, like, they'll buy me a couple beers, and they've been good childhood friends for a while. And it's just, I don't bring any lighting, I don't do any props, none of that. I just show up, take my camera, and it's just a simple shoot. There's nothing crazy about it.
Mike Jansen. I'm going to wait till you sit down. So I'm going to do John Hood. If you were to start from the beginning, what camera do you think you would get? So I'm a big proponent right now. If I had to start over today, would I start with a D3200? Would I start with a D7100? For me, I would start with a D610. I would jump right into the full frame market and just start there. To me, that is a great starter camera. Where would you go if you were starting today?
Probably the same thing, or the 6D, one of the entry level full frames. I had someone ask me on Twitter last night. Actually, they were asking, what should I get? Should I get a D7000 or whatever it may be? And I was like, you might as well just go full frame, pay the extra couple hundred for it, especially the 6D.
Well, it's It's almost too.
Yeah, it's getting
twice
there.
The price.
Or just save up and just get better glass. You know?
I say that all the time. I on the airplanes or right before I get on plane, I did a lot of these rapid fire things on Facebook the other day. When I'm at the airport and there's Wi-Fi, I'll go onto Facebook and I'll say, all right, until my plane takes off, I'm going to answer as many questions as possible. So put them here. And what I do is, it's great that you have replies on Facebook now, because that makes it so easy just to reply to people.
For sure.
So you end up with 75, 80 questions, and I sit there and I hammer them out. And a lot's like, well, should I buy the D5300 or the Nikon D3200? It's like, it doesn't matter. Get something and learn it. Like, I don't care what you start with. Or somebody's like, I have a D5200. Should I upgrade to the D7000? I'm like, it's the same sensor.
Yeah, you might as well go full frame save a little more.
You might as well just buy glass.
Or that.
So I tell people that all the time, because they a lot of gear questions come in, and the questions to the Fro box is still there. And I answered like 50 of those before the plane took off. And it's a lot of gear. I have this and this. Should I buy this? Or what should my first camera be? I'm like, just get a camera. And just pick something.
I've talked about this in the past, where basically I started from like an older Canon Rebel to a semi-pro camera to a decent camera to then like a full frame, and I just wasted so much money in between when I should have just went entry-level full frame to begin with and saved a ton of money. Luckily, I got to sell all those old cameras and bodies, but I still lost a ton of money in the end.
Mike Jansen, to TFP or not to TFP? That's the question. Steven, do you TFP?
TFP. What is that acronym for?
What is it?
TFP? Is it a photo
Yeah,
acronym?
It's photo related, model mayhem related, why I didn't bring this up earlier.
TFP. I got nothing.
Trade for pics.
To
TFP or
maybe
not
because
to
I don't
TFP.
do it.
Look, if you want models and all you have to do is give them some freaking pictures and you get to build your portfolio, just look at what Dave Leno talked about last week. He'll go and call a game that he's not getting paid for just to get more stuff for his portfolio, just to do it. So if you have a model that wants to not get paid and wants to just trade for photos, then run them through the ringer, man.
You got to start somewhere.
Well, or not even start, but you get models.
Yeah. You're getting
experience shooting for free, and all you have to do is trade them pics.
And models most likely will know how to pose. You don't have to be experienced in that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, if they're on Model Mayhem, most likely
I gotta say, Model Mayhem, man, when you sign in and there's the section of it where they don't have clothes on.
Oh, really?
It's crazy.
I haven't been on that section.
I have. I've looked at it. Just
Trying
for women.
to pick up women?
Well, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it because, bring them into the loft and they'll be like, oh my God.
Well, they're realistic pictures, I guess.
This is the panty dropper. All right, here's Lear La Madrid. They got to spin the wheel of Fro. They won that Squarespace for a year.
I remember.
I hope my Squarespace guy's not angry. I don't think he's going to be angry.
Well, is this the second time we did it?
This is the second time. And it's only on their toy. It's
Wait, he knows, right, that we're doing this?
Yeah, he knows.
Okay.
I don't think he'll worry about it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing.
Well, you say you don't think he'll worry like he doesn't know.
He's not. No. He's fine. He's not going to care.
All right.
I'll pay for it, even if he does. Hi, Jared. Can we please play Fast Talk with Fro? Really simple. Really simple. Answer these questions as fast as you can, choosing one answer only. Read them to me, please, starting with the one.
You didn't read these yet?
I did read them, but go ahead.
Sausage or bacon?
Neither. I don't eat pork.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Dumbbells.
Actually, the funny thing is, the salad I got in New Orleans had something in it. And it was like it was bacon.
Bits?
No, it was chunks of bacon, basically. So I guess I ate a couple by accident, and I was like, Adam, is this bacon? And so then the waiter came over, and I'm like, is this bacon? I'm like, can I get one without? And I didn't throw a hissy fit. It's not like the end of the world. Have you ever tasted bacon before? Well, yeah, you taste it by accident, like those bacon bits. This honestly had no taste, but I'd prefer not to eat it. I don't eat pig. I don't eat pork.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
That's just me.
Next up?
Yeah.
Dumbbells or steel bar?
Steel bar for curls.
Interesting. Ken Rockwell or Green Day? I love that one.
This is so hard because I really
hate both.
Dislike Green Day over and over again.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm going to go with, which one would I like more?
I think, yeah, right. It says yes or no, but...
I'm going to go with Ken Rockwell. I dislike Green Day that much.
Ken Rockwell. So you're going to go Ken Rockwell that you like more, is what you're saying. Okay. Toothbrush or deodorant?
Toothbrush, because your teeth are more important than smelling fresh.
I agree. 2.8 or 3.5?
2.8.
Apple juice or Gatorade?
Apple juice.
Really?
Oh, I'm not a big Gatorade fan. I just drink it for working out. That's for working out, for the carbs.
Man, these are good questions. Pink or yellow?
I'll go with yellow. I'll go with yellow. I like
you
purple.
paused on that one like the most. You really had to think about it. Friday night or Saturday night?
I'm indifferent to the days of the week. I work for myself.
That
really.
is true. You work every day pretty much. Sushi or tacos?
Sushi.
Another one I didn't think you would answer that way.
Why?
I thought you were a taco guy.
Dude, I got sushi in the freaking refrigerator right now,
That's
man.
true.
First thing I ate when I came home from Florida was I went to the sushi place.
You do love that sushi place.
I do.
Isn't that one girl always hitting you or two or something?
2 girls now hit on me. There's another girl. She asked me for my website today. So the other girl, the other girl's name is Sue.
Yeah.
All right. She doesn't speak English very well, and I like talk. She's like, "Are you famous? You know, are you famous?" So I was like, "Not really, but sure." So she's just all talking. She gets all happy. She's like, "You need to check out this artist. He played piano." I'm talking like that. I'm just replicating. So this other girl was in there, and she's like, "I'm an artist," and she was talking, and she's like, she's like, "You're Jared, right? I saw your name on your card. Not to be a creeper, but." She's like
checking you out all the
She's
time.
like, "What's your website's address?" She's like, "Write it down for me." I'm like, "So where do you live?" She's like, "South Philly." I'm like, "All right."
Very nice.
I was like, "Awesome."
Last one, Contra or Mega Man?
Contra.
Oh yeah.
Mega Man was. I wasn't totally into Mega Man.
They're great questions.
Yeah,
That's why you picked them for.
I did because it was a great question.
Yeah, that really is.
I would love to see more of this rapid fire stuff next week.
Yeah.
Anybody that wants to leave these questions, I love rapid.
You're gonna have like a laundry list
Steven,
of questions.
maybe we'll have a new segment.
Oh yes,
rapid
it's gonna be even
fire
longer?
Fro.
Can't wait.
Fast talk with Fro. This or that. That would be funny.
If we kept it down to like 2 minutes, then it would be something we could add on.
Well, you know how they do. I know. I need to not politically incorrect, but on ESPN they have the show with the bell dings every couple minutes, and then they move on to the next topic, and then they do corrections.
Oh, like a timer we'll have?
Yeah, it's a good show.
That's good.
Anyway, thank you, Lear La Madrid. You have won anyway. These questions were great.
They really are.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Jeff Gingras, what's on the Fro's wish list and why? Bowling alley. Bowling alley.
That's all I want is a bowling alley.
It is. I'm nowhere near being able to get it, but it's one of those goals. I like to set lofty goals. That's one. And I'm going to go look at a pinball machine.
At least we got North Bowl down the street, which is awesome.
We do, but it's funny. I rather spend...
It's just like hipster bowling alley joint.
Well, it's like $6. I hear they're opening a new one.
Yeah.
Where? Do you have any ideas? Is it South Philly or something?
I'm assuming, yeah, it's going to be somewhere else, like South Bowl or West Bowl or whatever.
No, I'm sure they'll continue to call it North Bowl 2 or North Bowl South or something.
Yeah.
But my thing is that it's a bar and they have food. And why do you need to charge me $6 a game?
Is it really that much?
Use it as a loss. Like, charge me $2.99. Just make it flat rate $2.99 because I'm going to sit there and I'm going to drink alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy food.
Well, especially because they have bars and
Stop
places
making the money off the
5
bowling.
feet.
The bowling isn't where you need to make the money.
Yeah, bowling should be the cheapest part. Everything else is,
And
what it is.
Oh man, they've got this one Avril-looking waitress.
Uh-oh.
Oh man,
Uh-oh.
she is so hot.
I love their what is it, the goldfish macaroni and cheese?
Oh, they also have
it's so good.
They have mazel tots.
Do they?
You know what mazel tots are?
Not really.
You know tater tots?
Yeah, is it like
No, so basically mazel tots are tater tots with applesauce.
I love how I said "do they" as if I knew what it was.
Mazel tots. It's a very Jewishy type of thing.
So you love it.
I don't eat mazel tots. I don't like tater tots.
Really?
I like potatoes and I like French fries.
I like crispy tater tots
because it's just chunked up potato.
So
I don't like that.
Okay, yeah. Hash browns? You like hash browns?
I love hash browns.
Yeah.
Without onions
like the
and
same
pepper.
thing.
Without onions and pepper. No, it's not because those are formed into preservative-laden balls of stuff. Sean Taylor, in which order would you buy the Hebrew Trinity if you had to piece it together? What's your feeling on the Canon 70-200 f4 versus the older 70-210? Oh, Jesus. There is no combination between the 70-210 f4 that Canon made and their new 70-200 f4. But if I had to pick one lens to start out of the Hebrew Trinity, when I did basically, in essence, buy the 80-200 Nikon as my first lens because I was shooting hockey, and that was the lens I needed for what I was shooting. If I had to walk around with one lens, it would be a 24-70, but I would probably buy the 70-200 again to start.
I do love my 70-200. Quality-wise, I think that's the best lens the 50, I would say, is the best quality.
How many Rodriguez's have we had today?
I don't know. Is there a lot?
I don't know. Danny Rodriguez.
They all sound like baseball players.
Danny Rodriguez.
Super stereotypical.
Danny Rodriguez. What are some good ways to get websites /photos reviewed or critiqued? Just send them in.
Yeah.
There is no one way or another other than befriending me and actually having me respond. Here's one thing not to do. Don't send me 23 Facebook messages. Like that, some people are like, they're like, thanks for answering. It's like, look, if I see that you've already asked 6 questions, you've already said 6 things before I even opened your message, I'm probably not going to open it because I know there's a lot to read.
Or I think the best is when you ask for a discussion point or you post a topic and it doesn't have to do anything with critiques, and then someone's always there like, can you critique this?
Right.
It's like, I'm not asking you right now for open critiques.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
And when you submit for the rapid fire critique or for the Squarespace critique of websites, which I'm going to start in January.
Oh, nice.
Those are the rapid fire website critiques. I just pick. I go through and I see which ones grab me. So quality work or work that can improve. Okay, Lee Scott. If a magazine wants to buy a photo, how much would you charge? I.e., I shot a member of a band live on stage, but say there were 2 other photographers there. If they're coming to ask you, first and foremost, they've come to ask you. I can't tell you what to charge. Most of the time, they're not going to pay you much. It's going to be 50, 25, 50, $100, even for a magazines like AP Photo.
Yeah.
Or AP Alternative
What was it, 25
Press.
bucks they do?
They were giving like $75 to run a photo or $100, and that's
I thought
it
it was less than that.
So they're not giving you that much money.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what to charge.
It's dwindled down a lot.
It's what they're willing to offer. Nathaniel Brown again? Any word or advices to students taking photos for a journalism class? Most of the photos suck, but nobody listens to me. Sorry, I guess this is over the top. Stop telling people their photos suck, honestly. Do better, you know? I can't tell you any word of advice for students taking photos for photojournalism class. Just go out and take photojournalistic images. Capture some photos. Don't be lazy. I was lazy as hell in college. I would go shoot my cat or something in the backyard.
I wouldn't usually leave I wouldn't leave my house. I would just find something in my house that would, reflect on the project.
Yep.
And work out.
Eric Alani, how much time did it say on there?
We're about an hour and 23 in.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay, cool.
Eric Alani's, what are your thoughts on the Sigma 24-70 2.8? Is it worth it when you're on a budget, or just save and get the Nikon? Look, if you're on a full frame camera, I think it's time to graduate to the Nikon or the Canon full frame lenses. If you're on a DX camera, I don't think the 24-70 is the right choice. For any DX camera, it's not wide enough to do wide shots, and that's it. It's really too wide. It's not wide enough to do the wide shots. I think you need to invest in a Sigma 17-50 2.8, and that's a lot less inexpensive, and that is better suited on that type of camera. But when it's time to move up into full frame, that's the time to get the real deal Nikon or Canon glass. As much as they may dislike me saying that, it's the truth.
No, I agree. Like, it sucks that I have to pay a ton of money for L lenses, but there's nothing better than using that brand on that brand body.
And the resale value is
doesn't drop. It stays the same usually.
Yeah, you basically rent a lens for $200 or $300.
Yeah,
you could sell the 70-200 2.8 version 2 for $2,000.
I have the version 1, and I could probably still sell it for $1,600.
Even if you sell it, really?
Yeah.
Even if you sell it for $1,600, you paid $1,800 for it.
Exactly. I'm barely losing anything. Exactly. I've had it for years.
Exactly.
And still brand new.
Rob Timko Photography, Frono's Photo. When marketing yourself on social media, is it best to string out content while consistently posting, or post less but maybe a little better quality? For example, if I had one shoot this week, is it best to post a photo a day or just a set of 10? Well, first off, a little bit. Everything you should do should have a sense of quality in it. Everything should have quality. If you need to even ask yourself about quality, then you shouldn't post it if it doesn't meet your standards. I am all about consistent quality content coming out. Some content is always better than others, but we make sure to do it smartly. I'm not saying spend a month on one particular video. We did the Frono's Photo Show, right?
Yep.
And that took us almost 3 weeks to produce.
That was the most intense thing I think we ever did here.
Right. And there's a reason I didn't choose to continue doing it as of this point, is because I think our time was better spent. We were doing RAWtalk at the same time too. I think the time is better spent on RAWtalk than one piece of content. That one is something that we could have chopped into 4 pieces of content and spread out over a month.
Definitely.
We could have done the comedy skits and put that on somewhere else. We could have done the guess the shutter speed and put that separately. We could have done the 5-minute portrait thing that Adam and I did, and then the interview. There's no reason to do one show for an hour when we could spread out that content and keep people interested. So sometimes spreading it out makes more sense. But on your photo shoot, here's what I would do on a photo shoot. I would post all 10 images. I wouldn't roll out one image a day for 10 days. I think that's overkill. But I would make content talking about the photo shoot, how you edited the photos, if that's what you want people to see. Then I'd put the photos out there into the world. And now you've already made 3 or 4 pieces of content off of one photo shoot.
Maybe a screen flow of you editing them or whatever.
Yep. Julian Koch, is there any place where I can see Steven's work?
My Flickr account so far, but I haven't updated it.
Radio
in like,
1045.
Yes and no. I don't like to send
because
people
they
there.
edit your photos?
Yeah, well, yes and no. If we're doing a concert like the Jingle Ball or something, which is Q102, to our sister station, I shoot for that. I just shot it a couple weeks ago. We have real-time editors in the back that are uploading them right away, but I'm not a fan of how they edit my photos personally, and plus the compression on that website is not good for photos at all, so I don't send people that way usually at all. Plus they want more in the photo gallery, so I put up almost everything I take, and I'm not really a huge fan of it. But my Flickr account will be the place to go as far as like a portfolio goes. And like I said, I haven't updated it in probably like a year, but once I get the Squarespace, which I'm hoping this holiday weekend or week coming up, I'm going to start to
just start your free trial, Steven.
Yeah.
And then I get you your for a year.
Yeah. My hardest part is breaking down the photos that I need.
Which I'm going to help you with.
Yeah.
I need to just come over to your place
For sure.
once. We've got Amanda Claypool Hicks. I can't sing a Les Claypool song because I don't think he sings. When can we expect a Frodo Walk workshop in Pittsburgh? Probably not in Pittsburgh.
That's pretty
I don't like
big.
Sidney Crosby. What's the best way, and this is the second part, what's the best way to find makeup and hair artists for free to help with personal portfolio or other model mayhem? Question.
I have no idea.
Well, first off, I don't think you should try to find a makeup artist for free, right? It's like a makeup artist going, hey,
Asking
can
a
you take these
photographer.
photos for free? We
true.
have to get out of this mentality that everything is for free, right? You need to make money. People need to get paid. If you want them to do quality work for you, pay them for their quality work. Make them worthwhile. So that's that. I got to move quicker. Steven's going to yell at me. Andrew Wilson. Hi, Jared and Steven. Are you planning to visit the UK again in 2014? I live in Liverpool, and it would be great to come along for a photo walk. Do you have any travel plans for next year? Well, in January, we're going out to Vegas. I'm speaking in Vegas. And then we're going to a special show out there in mid-January.
Yes, we are.
And then I don't know if I'm going to Photokina. I'm back and forth over this. I think the only way I would go to Photokina, honestly, is if a company wanted to really pay for me to go. Because I don't see the point in going to a photo show in Germany. I don't care. What are they going to show me that I either already don't know, or who am I going to meet over there that I haven't met already? Now, it was a great experience going to Germany last time, and we stopped in London. We did a boot camp there. You know, I would do stuff like that, but I really can't see spending the money just to go to Photokina again.
Well, it'll be like Photo Plus, where you
Just
love it
bigger.
for an hour and then you hate it after.
Dude, you're so right. I hope that doesn't happen in Vegas.
I guarantee it will. You're
No.
gonna get there and be like, why are we here?
I know, I hope not. But we got dinner. We're going to go out to Kerry Simon's restaurants. He's a friend of mine, so
Oh, yeah?
he's got good stuff. I want to go to KGB. That's a burger joint.
Sounds good.
Kerry's Gourmet Burgers. The fries
Is
are
this
great.
on the strip or?
This is, yeah, and we're staying at the Paris.
Okay.
And
I don't know.
it's at the Harrah's or it's not too far.
Okay.
Wherever it is, it's not far. It's on the strip in the middle, and it's called KGB, and they've got amazing girly vodka drinks.
Girly vodka.
Well, it's all vodka drinks, so I'll get some fruit punch and vodka and just drink that with
what about
dinner.
beers? Because I like my beers.
No, I don't think they do beer there. I'm sure they do beer. It's Vegas.
All right.
Andrew Wilson, I just read your question. Ben Ramshaw. I'm about to send my portfolio off to university applications. Any general tips that help me out? Yeah, put in the photos that you think are the best of the best of the best with honors, sir. And if you think one photo needs to hide in there, get rid of it.
Yes.
And this is for school. It doesn't have to be perfect. If they think that you're coming into school with the best portfolio in the world, that's not the point. So showcase what you think is your best work and own it. And that's the point of getting into school, is to learn more.
And I think something that helps is just like when you're editing, like it's just good to give your eyes like a little breather and maybe take out your 10 best images and then take a breather for a couple hours or maybe a day, come back, look at them again and see what really pops and what doesn't.
I've got a Gonzalez here.
Oh, yeah?
Adriana Baerga de Gonzalez. What all? And that's a lot of Mexican names today.
Yep.
Spanish names. With all the gear you have bought throughout your career, is there something that you wish you hadn't bought? Lenses, camera bags, etc. And I'll tell you, I bought a lens once. I bought a 24-120 when it first came out, the first generation, back in the day when I was like 16 or 17. And it so happened that my mentor wasn't working that day at the camera store, and they let me buy this. Now this is like a 3.5 to 5.6. And when he saw that I bought this, that he yelled at me and he made me return it. And he said, "This is not a good lens for you. Yes, it's 24, but it's a variable aperture lens. It's not going to give you the results you want. You need to let more light in." And this was film days. So he made me return it until I could afford to buy. I think I bought a 35 to 70 2.8 that Nikon made. How about you?
As far as lenses go, I kind of went right for the L lenses. I didn't really mess around with that.
Well, that's
but
good.
I did buy a 51.4, which I loved at first because I didn't have the L lenses at the time. I didn't realize the focusing, how much better it was and all that. And the 51.4 just sucks at focusing. So I kind of regretted that. But I ended up selling it with my 7D, and I got a good price for it. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, what is this?
What, you have like an extra page or something?
Oh, no. I'm reading the top when I should technically be reading the bottom. Daryl Givens. Hey, Jared. Me and 3 buddies are starting a little venture involving photography, videography, and design.
Nice.
Was just wondering if you had any advice about starting up or even the difficulties that come with working in a group. I said this earlier. Now you want to add 3 people to a partnership. Now you have to get 3 people's opinions. Now you have to if you want to make $100,000 a year each, you can't take in just $300,000 in business. You need to take in more of that because there's expenses and everything along those lines. Trying to feed 3 people is not going to work unless 3 people do totally different things and all contribute as much as possible. But is the designer going to be able to contribute as much as a videographer, as much as a photographer? Why not start 3 independent businesses and then subcontract out your work? Now, partnerships can work. I'm not just saying that they don't work. I know that my printer guy who does the shirts back in 2007, 2008, when the total bust happened and the companies were going out of business, they joined forces. I think 3 printing companies in the Philly area joined forces. One guy's job, he handles all the printing in the back end. The other guy handles all of the business and all of the acquisition, and then somebody else does something else. So having that team like that, they all brought something to the table. But starting from scratch, going to be very hard for 3 people coming out to be successful in a business.
Yeah, I mean, I relate it to a band, if anything, because you have all these people coming together playing different types of instruments or whatnot, and they end up breaking up usually a couple years down the road because they end up hating each other or they're just making 0 money. It's not like you're, a huge band out there. It's very hard to make it to the top and make a decent living when it comes to a bunch of people involved. So it's worth a try, but...
Dustin, Sarah Ridings. I think these are 2 people. They share a Facebook page so that nobody can cheat on each other. Basically, I'll give you the gist of the question. Do you save all of the photos that you shoot? And my answer is yeah. Everything that I shoot gets stored, except if there's a totally out of focus image that's totally gone. I may just remove that. But everything I've shot, it stays there on the hard drive. That's how I do it. And the photos that you keep them forever. Just trying to decide how much long-term storage. I mean, why would you get rid of it? Why would you get rid of anything that you shoot? If all it is hard drive space, just keep storing it.
It's getting cheaper and cheaper for huge terabyte hard drives.
One of my New Year's resolutions, Steven, is I need to do Amazon Glacier. I need to get my stuff off-site. I need to get it stored off all the Drobos, and I need to get it out of here.
Our the Frono's photo drive that you got me, which was I think what 3 terabytes.
Yeah.
And just 6 months ago you got it. It's almost full already because of all the RAWtalk mainly is what almost 100 gigs each week.
Well, I'm going to get you another one to start 2014.
Well, we might need 2 because I'm thinking maybe 1 as a backup, and I don't know.
Well,
or maybe a Drobo
I have
system,
a Drobo, and it's USB 3.0.
or the G technology, whatever.
The G RAIDs.
Better.
I can give you a Drobo. I just have to get all the hard drive space for it.
Yeah, definitely need that.
I have to go. So Joseph Hartzler, will you be making a Frono's video channel now that you're interested in film other than the YouTube all about photography videos? And I'm basing this off of one of your last statuses. And he says he likes to use parentheses because he used a lot of them. I wouldn't start another channel. I would continue with Frono's Photo, and it can offshoot into other videos. I would never start a second channel because why would you start at 0 when you already have it? And this is great for business in general. Why would you branch off into something else if you already have established yourself here. What are you yelling at me? Oh, that's a totally different thing, Steven.
Yeah, okay.
That's totally different. That has nothing to do with photography. It's totally different.
That's true. We're talking about something else, so we're not
allowed to talk about it. So no, I wouldn't start a separate channel, but I can say we're gonna do more video type videos, more video type tutorials going into the future. I even have one in the can that we did that I still haven't put up about the variable neutral density filter.
Oh, that's a great one too.
I know. I just haven't.
We did that in the summer.
It was hot out. Yeah.
Yeah.
MICAH. I think it's Mike Coletti. My cousin wants me to photograph her wedding. I told her to hire a professional. She refuses. Would you ever shoot a family member's wedding? She can refuse all the hell she wants, but you're not going to shoot her wedding.
Yep.
Do not shoot family gatherings. Family gatherings is one thing, but weddings, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, no. They need to hire somebody. I just had this happen in my family. They asked me to shoot the bar mitzvah because they wanted to, quote unquote, save money. No. I am here to attend, not to work.
Exactly.
That's my job, is to attend. This is family. Hire a photographer. Get some, because if I mess up, I don't want that to be something that hurts. If somebody else messes up, then well, that's on them. That's not on me.
Yeah. Exactly. And you're not going to, you know, on them at least it's only a client. It's not a family member. So
this is I'm not posting the person's name because it's controversial stuff.
Okay.
I guess it goes with the whatever happening with Duck Dynasty. I don't watch that show, but I guess the Duck Dynasty guy said something stupid. You're asked to shoot a same-sex wedding, but do not believe in it. What to say when someone asks you to shoot something that goes against what you believe? I know I'll probably catch heck for just asking this, but before I get all kinds of hate comments, I know that I have very close gay friends. I love how you have to, first off, I love how they quantified that they have very close gay friends and do not judge them. First off, if you don't judge them, then who the hell cares if you shoot their wedding?
Yeah.
If you don't believe in it, don't believe in it. But I also took the other devil's advocate side here and said, what if I was asked to shoot what if I or an African-American person was asked to shoot a wedding for a KKK member, right?
That's true.
Let's flip it around that way. Would the Supreme Court come to me and say, you have to shoot this wedding because that's discrimination against that KKK group if you don't shoot their wedding, right? I think that is a perfectly good analogy to use.
It's a little extreme, but
it's extreme, but it still could be based in reality.
It's true.
Would they ever do that? Would a KKK group ask a African American or a Jewish person to shoot a wedding? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. I don't, again, have any issue shooting any type of wedding, whether it's a KKK wedding. I'll do a great job, but I'd be fearful for my life. Or if it's a gay wedding, I don't care. Like, it's your choice not to do it, but you have to be able to say something like, I'm either booked, or you can't say that I won't shoot your wedding because you're gay. That's discrimination.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Even though I feel in your business, you have the right to take a job that you want or not take a job that you want. You just have to be very careful. But when you end this by saying that you have close gay friends that you don't judge, and do not judge them. Well, if you just said that you don't judge them, then why does it matter if they get married and you shoot their wedding?
Yep. Is it their wedding?
It said a friend wedding. It said you were asked to shoot a same-sex wedding but not believe in it. Oh, well, again, it doesn't matter if you know them. They just said at the end that they have friends that are gay.
Yeah.
And they don't judge. Then you
like
should have
contradicting what they said.
You should have no problem shooting that wedding whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that's that, Steven. That's all of that. So that is the end of the Raw Talk for 2013, the most productive year of Raw Talk that we've had, because there were a lot of episodes. This was episode 66.
Wow.
I think I
came on somewhere around 30. I know that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I know 17 was Gary V, and I know I pushed along with some of those not so good ones, which were just flying solo with me just answering questions and ranting, which were good. You have to start somewhere. Everything leads to where you are today, and that's why I recommend for people to start their own podcasts. A lot of people say, that other podcasters say, start a podcast, sit down with a friend, talk about whatever you want to talk about. Doesn't have to be photography, but put something out into the world. You never know if it catches fire and people are going to like it.
And you don't have to start off with like professional microphones and a professional setup. I mean, look where we started with just the audio. You can do Skype stuff. You can do whatever, your laptop microphone.
It could be the laptop mics.
It doesn't matter.
You don't have to spend a ton of money.
If you have good content, who cares?
I think Rode has a podcaster mic.
Yeah, it's
not
like
very
$99.
expensive. Right. So
USB input. I think.
USB right into the computer. So there's ways that you can do this. Just do it. If you really have an interest and you want to share, everybody has a voice today. You can get it out there, put it out into the world. Just go ahead and talk. So going forward in 2014, I still need to make my year-end video. I actually have to go to the cemetery and make my 4th year in a row video where I sat at my mom's grave. That's happening either this weekend or her birthday is the 23rd. So that's when I'll have that out. But in 2014, I'm going to have another video guide, if not 2. We've got 2 in the works, really good stuff. One's with Adam again on something else, and another.
I don't think I even know about that one. Do I?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't tell you.
I don't think
but
so.
But I had 3 other things in the fire, irons in the fire for different types of RAWtalks. Not RAWtalks, for different types of video guides. I know which one's good. And the secondary one with Adam is going to be very good as well. But the one that I'm filming first in January is the next step in photography. Because it's not actually photography, but it's the next step.
That one I know of, yeah.
Yeah, it's where everything's going, and people want to know how to do it. So we'll get to that. That's 2014. I think that I want to evolve the content a little further. Yes, I'm still going to continue to do tutorials. We still do the quick tips. We throw them in there. I don't know that I will continue to make as many videos as I do. I say that now, but I will. I'll continue to make those videos. But I want to do more fun things that I enjoy, those comedy things. I like a little bit of comedy where we write skits, but we go and we put it out there, and I think they're funny. And with Steven here, it has been an amazing addition to what we do, or what I do, because there is no we. You've been obviously a tremendous help to everything.
Thank you.
I love that.
I try.
The behind-the-scenes RAWtalk video is something that I want to continue. That's the style of video that I want to make.
Like on the fly.
On the fly. We're going to go up to New York to go to Adorama Picks to see how the books are made.
That'd be cool.
It's a how it's made type show.
I love that show.
Right. So
watch every episode.
Or Dirty Jobs or whatever.
Yeah,
we're going to go there.
Oh, so good.
And we're going to film this. And maybe I'll bring a second shooter up in New York. We have plenty of people in New York that I may know that can do video and do a B angle, and you're the main angle, they're a secondary angle, and we go through and get a tour of their factory. That stuff's awesome. I want to do more of that. I want to do more shooting type videos. I want to do more personal type projects, and I need to just do it. Not talk about it, just do it, right? Because that's my big thing. And so that's where I want to go with that stuff. I want to make those funny videos like I talked about doing the we've got a thing for weddings, which is going to be funny. We've already started coming up with those.
Yeah.
We've got this taking better pictures for profiles. That's going to be fun. I want it to be funny. I want it to be funny and informative. And some videos are going to be more funny than informative, but I just think entertainment is what I enjoy doing. So that's what I want to spend time on, making that type of content. We've upped the quality tremendously this year.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to keep upping and upping. I want to be 12 steps ahead of the other people trying to do what we're doing. You know, I think the podcast that we put together is one of the best podcasts, definitely in the photography field. If not the way that it's set up, it definitely ranks up there with a very well any professional quality done podcast,
especially for the amount of staff we have.
Well, it's
AKA
you and
me
I.
you.
and that's what we've got. So 2013 was great. 2014 going forward, want to keep expanding and growing and doing things smarter. Work smarter, not harder. But I'm not a big fan of saying just because you work smarter, you don't have to work as hard. I'm more of a fan of saying you work smarter, and that means you can work even harder and get more done because you're smarter about it. Do you see anything for yourself moving forward?
Honestly, I didn't really think about it. I mean, working here more and more, I definitely.
Yeah, you coming full time?
Possibly. That could be a 2014 thing. I have to make a decision whether it's going to be the radio station here or wherever. But
is there a wherever, Steven?
Probably not. It's one or the other, most likely.
I hope that you decide to come here full time because.
Well, I'm not saying anything yet, but
because radio's dead, Steven.
Well, we'll have to see.
And if you were full-time here, we could probably help you formulate your own beer blog or something that you're interested in, or your own music blog.
Obviously interested in photography, I think, the most out of anything.
Well, that you can still make and put it, you know, you have your own YouTube channel. Yeah. You can do whatever you want. That's if we formulate that. I mean, I'm a big fan of helping other people build their own brand because then, again, with partnerships, why would we have you under Frono's Photo making videos when you can make videos yourself under Steven and they can be posted on Frono's Photo, but they help grow your brand?
That's true.
That's what I did
kind of
with
like
Adam.
With Adam, yeah.
That's what I said to Adam from day one. Is this is going to be under your own brand, but it's going to be for on my site and on yours.
That's cool.
So that's the cool thing. So
But
Are we
that'll
good with
be
time, by the way?
We got to wrap it up.
How much time's on there?
We got about another 2 minutes.
You
Two
wanna-
and a half minutes.
All right, are you sure?
We're an hour 45 in. We should probably.
But I just like this wrap-up talk.
All right.
So you just check them first, and then I'll wrap it up. Because I got, how much time's on it?
You're good. 2 minutes 15.
You reset it, please. Because just in case I talk too much. I'm wrapping it up, Steve. It's the year-end wrap, all right? It's the year-end wrap. I just want to just do it.
That can keep going.
That can keep going an extra 10 minutes because the Canon does that. So moving forward into the new year, we've got these mics. We talked about RAWtalk. We hope to add we may add up the 3 Atomoses.
We might. I mean, we still got to figure out the whole codec issue.
Oh, right. We got to talk to them about those different things that happen with the codecs.
It's got to be the codec. I looked and Googled everything the other day.
Well, when we get them on the phone, I'm sure they'll be able to answer
We also
it.
need to check in what the Mac looks like on there.
Right.
See how it looks.
And I want to get 3 cameras that are paired. Whether I get 3 D610s or 3D, I don't think I'm going to get 3 D800s, personally. I put a note into Nikon because they're the ones who give me the D800 to use. And that has to go back. I don't get to keep it, even though I've had it for about 8 months. And they keep extending it. I would like to have 3 paired cameras. I said to them, just give me 3 cameras to use for the show. It's promotion.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's my number one thing I think I want for
Well, and
this
I don't
show.
want to use your camera all the time.
No, I don't either.
But
when it's heating up for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's what they're
recording.
meant to do.
Not really.
That's what they're meant. They're professional.
Yeah, I know.
So that's it, guys. That's the last RAWtalk for the year of 2013. We'll be back in the new year. Not sure when that show is. We have to look at the calendar and see when we're filming. I hope to have my dad on for an interview.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I've got an interview in the can that I did for this guy's blog called Doubt the Doubters or something that I think will be a good one just to put up as on another week at some point.
When we need a week off.
When we need a week off, or we're going to go to Vegas, so maybe
that week.
But maybe in Vegas we record one in Vegas, you and I.
We could.
We'll take the gear and we can do it. And maybe I'll get a guest on.
No, yeah, maybe you will.
Maybe, you know what? I'm going to try to get a guest on that's a videographer or film person in that field.
That'll be interesting.
That
That's
would
all
be
I have to say.
well, because I want to know how it's done. Actually,
we can know how it's made.
Hung, we have this friend named Hung.
That's ironic.
I know. He shot porn. He did.
That's extremely ironic.
I know. His name's Hung. He shot porn. He's Asian.
Did you ever watch the Hung show?
No.
The HBO show?
No.
It was really. I think there's only 1 season, but it was good.
Yeah. But he shot it for like a year, and that was it.
Yeah.
But he helped with the last video guide. That's how I knew that he did that.
I wonder if they're actually like legit production. Like I heard that a lot of porn stars take porn directors as like jokes because they're trying to like make everything perfect when in reality people don't give a shit. Most people.
Is this a porn podcast?
Well, that's what we're talking about right now. I wanted to bring it up.
Anyway, so I guess I got to end this.
Yeah.
For 2013, good year for this podcast, and we'll continue on making content on the website. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching week in and week out. All your comments. As this grows, you guys grow. We continue to make it better, bigger, and better. So I'm happy with where it ended 2013 from where it started 2013. And here's to another good one into 2014. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.